we children had forgotten that we are actors. And every actor is bound by his script, his part. So, have you seen any actor doing whatever they wish to do? No. They have a script, they have a part which is written for them, and they are limited by that part. And it is very interesting that we are actors, and that too hero actors in this play. But right now we are in the final scene of this drama. And have you seen that in the final scene, when the hero and the villain are fighting in mud, it is very difficult to find out who is the hero and who is the villain. So they almost come at the same, frequency. So Baba says here in this final scene, you have also forgotten yourself and you are in a mask. So I always like to think of ourselves as masked actors. So, we have forgotten our original face, original virtues, but even behind the mask, we are all different. So one thing is, we are originally different from each other, and then in the present reality, we are different from each other and also very far away from our own original state. And here Baba has come, and now Baba is asking us to, look beyond this mask of ego that we are wearing, this mask of the body conscious self which tells us you are this and that and the other. But Baba is asking us to look beyond the mask and realize who we really are. And it is interesting that, you are you. So you cannot become someone who is not you. And if originally amongst all these souls in the world, you are that pure divine deity soul, then you will have the urge to again take up purity, again follow Srimad, and again go back to being yourself. So this is very interesting. On the surface of it, when somebody asks us, so there was this one person who came some days back, and they asked that, so you are also practicing a path, and you are also into a philosophy, and you people are also on a path. So I said yes and no. So they said, what does yes and no mean? So I said, yes, there is a philosophy, yes, there is a path, but then there is a deeper spiritual reason why we are here. And it's not just about, about embracing one of the many philosophies or embracing one of the paths. It is much more beyond that. So then that person was asking me, so what do you mean by there is a deeper spiritual reason? So I said, you see, there is a path and there is a philosophy which is very unique to every soul. And to me, this is my destined path. So, it's not like, I have chosen it. Yes, I have chosen it. But then I'm destined to choose it also. And this is something we need to realize. So, it's a choice and also destiny. So, Baba says that when you start understanding these things, and Um, I always think that the biggest illusion that we are living in this world is that you can understand somebody, or you can understand somebody's journey, or you can actually help somebody in their journey. So I think, this is the biggest illusion. And, yesterday there was one lady, and she was, for 1 hour, she kept telling me about her troubles and about how she's suffering and about how there are trust issues in the family and this and that. And believe me, I could not empathize with even one thing she said, because according to me, if I was in her place, I wouldn't make the choices she's making. So she's a totally different person from me. Her sanskar is very different from me. But then I listened through the whole thing, and then she felt that, I felt much better when I talked to you. She told me, I really felt like, a big burden has been lifted, and I felt like I've got some healing, or, I've got some strength from Baba. So then there was this another person, and they said that, Didi, you are not this person, and I understand that there was nothing you could have related to. Then how did she feel that, she felt light? So I said, you see, it's not important that we understand each other's journey, or we should have the capacity to understand each other's suffering. It's not necessary, because you can only understand a suffering if it is similar to your suffering. Okay, so if somebody's karmic account is similar to me, for example, if I have a physical ailment, then I understand the pain of that ailment, and then somebody tells me, it's aching too much, so I will understand, okay, when I had that ailment, it ached so much, so that might be the pain they are suffering from. But even in that case, what are you identifying with, their pain or your pain? So you don't know what is their pain. Can you really understand what pain the other person is feeling? You don't have the capacity to do that. But I told that fellow, that the most important thing is compassion. So it's not important that you understand somebody's suffering. It's not important that you empathize with somebody. It's not important that you understand their journey. What's important is you appreciate the fact that when they say they are suffering, and you have compassion for that. You don't question anybody's suffering, and you have compassion for it. And in that compassion, what is an act of compassion? An act of compassion is sharing Baba's knowledge with them. So, not because you agree with that soul, not because you think they are right, not because you think they have been wronged, it doesn't matter. Even if you think that that person did something wrong and the other person they are talking about is actually the victim, you may knack your brain in 100 different ways. that's not important here. What's important is, when they say I'm suffering, you accept they are suffering, and you have compassion. And the only act of compassion is you share Baba's knowledge with them. You tell them that you are a soul, you are Baba's child, and you have the capacity to tolerate, you have the capacity to discern, decide, face, make choices, choose to be happy and peaceful come what may. And if you remember Baba, you will receive power. This is all that we need to do for each other. And I was just thinking, today Baba is saying that you be concerned about yourself first. So Baba is today, I don't know if you underlined it, but Baba says each of you has to be concerned for your own self, you know. So in short, mind your own business. Yes, so mind your own business is very important, because I think, you know, this biggest tool that Maya uses is when you start thinking about other people's business, when you start analyzing their journey, their life, what went wrong, what went right, who is wrong, who is right, and believe me, you have no method to figure that out. And that is none of your business. So the thing is, you see, I have thought this through, you know, for many years. I have been thinking about this thing, and what I have understood is, you see, even if somebody is wrong, if somebody is the perpetrator or somebody is the victim, the fact is they are suffering for being the perpetrator or being the victim. You are not suffering because of them, are you? No. If somebody did something wrong, they are suffering because of that. If somebody did not stand up for themselves, they are suffering because of that. So it is none of your business to decide whether this is a victim or this is a perpetrator. Don't go into that. Your job is the job that Baba has given you, and that job is to have compassion and share Baba's knowledge, power, light, might, truth with them. Okay, that much you do. And if you can't do even that much, just have good feelings and good wishes for everyone. Yes, so it is not important that you pronounce somebody as the victim or the perpetrator. Is it important? No. Can you, if somebody is the victim acting like the perpetrator, yes, or a perpetrator acting like the victim, can you actually bring about justice? Do you have that power? You don't have that power. So why knack your brain in that? Yes, so just be detached, have compassion, and give good wishes, good feelings to everybody. Even if, so you know, even if somebody is in the wrong, somebody has done something wrong, so can they escape the law of karma? They cannot escape the law of karma. So eventually every wrongdoer is also a sufferer in another scene. Yes, so even for somebody who looks like somebody who is doing something wrong, just have compassion, because if they are doing something wrong, they will suffer, and when they suffer, they'll need your compassion. So just give that to them. And an act of compassion is very simple. Just give what Baba is giving you, because in this whole world, there is only one entity who is compassionate, who is capable of true compassion. That is Baba. And whatever Baba is giving, in the form of directions, in the form of love, in the form of acceptance, in the form of power, in the form of peace, just give that to the soul. And how much does it cost you? You are taking it from Baba and giving it. So it doesn't cost you anything, does it? So Baba says, you know, it's very important that we realize that we are all actors, and everybody has a different script, everybody has a different journey, and according to that journey, that script, everybody's suffering, everybody's situations are very different. And you know, because, and there is this ego that we have, this big ego that tells you that you can understand somebody's journey. This is also a very big ego. So you think you are smart enough, intelligent enough to understand somebody's journey. But you know, this is also a very big form of ego. So you cannot understand it. So just do the job that Baba has given you to do. Just be compassionate, just share Baba's gifts with the soul who comes before you. I will tell you one incident. There was this one brother, and he told me that, Didi, when day before yesterday I was taking my car out of the garage, then there was this little kid, and he was just, he came, and he was just in front of the car, and he came running from the house nearby. So, and despite my honking, he was not moving from there. So I thought, maybe if I took the car a little closer, then the kid would get scared and run away. So I was not feeling like getting down from the car, so I just took the car a little further. And then the mother came running, the mother of the kid, and she started shouting at me, yelling at me like anything. And she said, "You are going to kill my kid, and what are you trying to do? You're taking the car too close." And she started yelling like anything. And then she was not ready to listen to me, and she went away. And I also got very upset, and I was very angry that, as such an irresponsible mother, and she's not taking care of the kid. And look, she has left the kid on the street, and now she's yelling at me. And all day, all through the day, I was very, very upset and angry about it. And then in the evening when I came, my wife started shouting at me, and she said, "What did you do to that kid in the morning?" So I said, "What did I do? I just took my car a little close so that the kid would run away, but he was not listening." So my wife said, "The kid was not listening because he cannot listen." So don't you understand that you honked so repeatedly, but the kid was not moving because he cannot hear. So that is why the kid was not moving. And I just sat on the sofa and felt so bad about, that whole scene. And then I said, okay, if the kid is not able to listen, then why is the mother leaving him on the street like that and not attending to him? And okay, I understand that I did not get the signal, and I did not understand that the kid is not able to listen. Okay, but is it not the responsibility of the mother? So then my wife said, these people have just moved some days back in our neighborhood, and both the husband and wife are suffering from cancer, and they have a deaf and dumb kid. And so because the treatment is so pain intensive, so sometimes they are not able to take care of the kid. So this is the actual situation. And then that brother told me that I went to their house and I said sorry, and he said that this is such a big turnaround that happened in 8 hours, which had never happened in my life, that I was in the morning and all through the day I was so angry on this family, and in the evening I was going and saying sorry, and I almost had tears in my eyes. So he said, you see, Didi, sometimes we are so myopic and we don't know the whole story. But I told him, maybe in this situation, you knew part of the story, you came to know part of the story, okay? But in most of the situations, you will never know the whole story. Yes, will you? You will never know the whole story. But it's okay, is it not? How does knowing the story or not knowing the story matter? What matters is, Baba has given us very clear Srimad that in any case, be compassionate. Do what you are meant to do what you are instructed to do what you are guided to do by Baba. Yes, think egolessly, speak sweetly, and see everyone as a soul and behave properly. Even if somebody is shouting, know there is a reason. if somebody is doing something, no, there is a reason. Yes. So just know that there is a reason, even if you don't know it. And appreciate that reason, even if you cannot understand it. And do your duty as a soul, do your duty as Baba's child. And as Baba's children, we are very fortunate. We have received everything from Baba. And it doesn't cost us anything to share what gifts we are receiving from Baba. So this is what Baba says. And today Baba is underlining purity in the whole Murli. The whole Murli is about purity. And Baba is underlining that if you want to go to that world of happiness, then purity is imperative, because that is a viceless world. This is an impure world. Yes. And Baba is telling us that in this quest for becoming pure, or in this effort of becoming pure, there is always this battle with Maya. Yes. So purity, so one thing is we have to become pure if we want to go to the pure world. And second thing is there is Maya, which is unrelenting. So Maya will not give you a way to become pure. Yes. And Maya is, and sometimes I think that how important and how fine a subject purity must be, that Baba is underlining it every day, and still purity remains a far cry. Yes, purity is so subtle and purity is so fine that every day Baba is inspiring us and giving us the strength and the direction to be pure. But still, why is it that purity remains such a challenge? So you see, most BKs, they take up celibacy, and celibacy is something that is the first and the grossest form of purity. Okay, but then that is just the beginning. But then purity is, so purity is in every aspect of our life. So if you look at our drishti, if you look at our mind, the approach we have towards our body, our relationships, the food we eat, what we watch, hear, how we see, everything is impure these days. The way we use our money, the way we earn our money. So purity of body, mind, wealth, relationships, food, drishti, if you look at that, it's a very big subject. And you see that there is so much of Maya, that Maya is always making vice enter into our life in some or the other manner. So Maya is confusing us, deluding us, and we are not able to discern how impurity is getting into one or another aspect of our life. And there was this very interesting thing. There was this one sister, and she's a nutritionist, and she was telling me once, Didi, purity is like gluten. So however much, so impurity is like gluten. So she said, however much people will tell you this is gluten free, everything has gluten in it. So she said, that is the kind of impurity we are living with in this world. And it's a very good example, because it has its way of finding traces, finding paths and ways into our life in many ways. So let's take very simple examples. Thinking about others, this is a very big door to impurity. So the moment you start seeing someone, seeing their actions, seeing their sanskars, hearing their words, paying attention to what they are saying, playing it on your mind, that's a very big form of impurity. Pardarshan, parchintan. Yes, so the moment you start seeing others, thinking about others, that's a very big door to impurity. But the question is, what do you do if you don't do pardarshan and parchintan? So the thing is, you see, we have been thinking about others and seeing others for the last 63 births. So last 63 births, every second of the 24 hours we got every day, we have just been doing this. So, analyzing others, looking at others, analyzing their sanskars, analyzing their words, their behaviors. We have been doing this for the last 63 births. And it is not easy to substitute all of that capacity of thought, with swachintan and swadarshan. So the opposite of parchintan and pardarshan is swachintan and swadarshan. So you have to start, thinking about your spiritual self and thinking about Baba and remembering Baba. So it's about the spiritual aspects that you have to engage your mind. But how much can you engage your mind in this spiritual aspect, and leave all the, mundane worldly thoughts? It's a challenge. It's not easy, because I have been doing this for at least this manthan and all for the last 2-3 years. I've been giving the manthan. So I basically, at least for 6-7 hours a day, I just think about the Murli. But then, the moment that stops and the necessary work stops, I've noticed that somewhere, somebody's words, somebody's thoughts will come. And 24 hours engaging yourself in swachintan and swadarshan is always a challenge. And I think, I have tried practicing this a lot, and I keep checking myself in between, every 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I keep checking myself. Who am I remembering? Where is my thought? What am I thinking about? And many a times I notice, okay, I'm thinking about some knowledge or myself or Baba or some necessary thing that I have to do. But many a times it's something else. And if you look at it, all the thinking is all unnecessary. All waste thought that you're thinking about, things that you can't control, things that you can't do anything about. And today in the blessing, Baba is talking about keeping yourself busy. Yes, and Baba says, if you keep yourself busy and keeping yourself conscious and busy, because most of the time we are not keeping ourselves busy. Maya is keeping us busy. And we don't even realize Maya is giving us so much to think about. And then you are busy doing that and analyzing it, and you're going into who is right, who is wrong, why did they do this, why did they do that. But all of that is wasteful stuff, and Maya is keeping you busy like anything. But how the most important challenge in Brahmin life is this capacity to think. And I will tell you one thing, those who are capable of analytical thinking, and most Brahmins are. So, most Brahmins are capable of analytical thinking. So, because we are the children of the ocean of knowledge himself, So we are all capable of analytical thinking. And this analytical thinking is such a double-edged sword that if if you don't pay attention to it, it can kill all your purusharth. So if you don't analyze the right stuff, if you don't engage your buddhi in analyzing the right stuff, then you will start analyzing, the wrong stuff, the wasteful stuff, and then your mind will have all kind of diseases because of that. And these days, what I have understood from observation is, most people are suffering because of their capacity to analyze. Yes, because you have so much capacity to analyze, and you are analyzing people and situations and behaviors which are not in your control, and you are using that faculty there, and that is driving you crazy. So this is a very big challenge for Brahmin souls who are trying to embrace purity. So celibacy is okay, celibacy is no big deal, but this thing, filling your mind with Swadarshan and Swachintan, this is a very big challenge. I will tell you about one sister. She is not in Gyan. She used to be the CEO of a company, and she is very talented, and she's into finance and economics and stuff. And what happened is, she was out of job just before COVID. So she was laid off before COVID. And then 2 years of COVID came, and she was not reabsorbed in any job. And then after 2 years, when I met her, she had come to the center. So she had almost all the mental illnesses you could think about. So she was delusional, she had depression, anxiety, everything. So then I asked her, what happened? And you used to be a very different person, and I've met you earlier, and what happened in these 2 years? And she said that I thought, and those thoughts drove me crazy. And I did not know what to do with my capacity to think. So I asked her, why didn't you write articles? And you are such a, you are a knowledgeable person in your field, and why didn't you start analyzing, financial stuff and economic situations, and why didn't you use your capacity there? So she told me, I wrote a few papers, but nobody was ready to publish it. So I just left writing them because it was not lucrative. And then she said, but it costed me. You see, because I did not do things because it didn't pay me well, but this thinking, because I did not anchor it somewhere, it has driven me crazy. And today Baba is underlining keeping yourself busy. And keep yourself busy. Don't allow Maya to keep you busy. Because when Maya keeps you busy, that is the path to great sorrow and great pain. So it is very important that we keep ourselves busy, and so our body, mind, wealth, so the energy we have has to be utilized. Our thought power has to be utilized. Our wealth has to be utilized. And if you are not consciously using it according to Baba's Srimad, then obviously it will flow to the wasteful and negative channels. So this is the biggest challenge. And read the Murli, analyze the Murli, think about the soul world, think about Baba, think about Baba's virtues, think about Sangam Yuga, think about the new world that is coming. Just keep churning the Swadarshan Chakra. Keep thinking about your virtues, your qualities, and analyze them so much that there is no space to think about other stuff. And of course, there is necessary stuff like the work you're doing or what is to be bought and this and that, cooking, this, your bank account, details of your phone numbers, this, that you do. But apart from that, keep yourself very busy. Keep your mind very busy. Keep your body very busy, because if you don't use up your physical energy also, then all your sense organs will start troubling you. Have you seen that the sadhus who take up celibacy, have you seen that in Jainism, when they take up celibacy, they keep walking on foot. They just keep walking on foot. They don't take vehicles, they don't take anything. They keep walking on foot, and wherever they go, they just go walking by. Because, when you're pure, you have too much energy in the body also. And this energy, this capacity to think, this can become our enemy if we don't use it properly. So keep yourself physically busy, sweep the floor, mop the floor, do dishes, cook, do whatever you can. Keep yourself physically busy. Otherwise, your senses will betray you. Otherwise, your eyes, your every organ of your body will start having acts of, attacks of vices. So you have to spend your energy. You have to spend your thought in purposeful creative thinking, purposeful creative seva work. And this is why Baba has given us these two tools, remembrance and seva. So, keep remembering Baba, his virtues, your virtues, the golden age, the soul world. Keep remembering and keep yourself occupied in seva. Yes, so even if it takes, you spend 2 hours preparing 2 tolis, offer it as bhog to Baba and just accept it. But use your energy, use your thought, because if you're not doing that, and I have experimented with it a lot, and we have too much capacity to think and too much energy. Brahmin souls are very well endowed with that. That is our, so it's a double-edged sword. If you use it properly, it can make you the master of heaven. So if you use all your faculties for yad and seva, that can create heaven for you. And if you don't use it productively, that can harm you a lot. So this purity that Baba is underlining today has to be paid a lot of attention to. And instead of battling with Maya, keeping yourself busy is the method to win over Maya. Okay, Om Shanti.